Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review. And you know, I love to babble, so it's kind of cool that I got a super cool album to babble about today. It's the new one from Devin Townsend called Powernerd. First thing I got into when I got my new releases, this is the first one I tore into. I love Devin. You never really know what you're going to get with him because he has so many different styles and flavors that he uses, but yet at the same time you kind of know what you're going to get from him because he never seems to let me down anyway. You just never know if you're going to get a super heavy album, maybe a more light or ambient, or maybe something crazy like Ziltoid. You never really know. So this one dropped the needle, as we say, although it's a CD, and got right into it, and it kicked right in full force with a title track with a scream. I guess it's Jamie Jasta doing the scream on that one. I didn't realize that at the time. But man, it just kicked in full force, that wall of sound we're all used to hearing. I watched like a lot of videos on with Devin and how he records, and he just does. It's a wall of sound. He records layers and layers and layers of guitars and vocals, and this album kicked off no different. Thing about this one is it rocks. It's a metal album, not like this strapping on lad type stuff, but more like a Devin Townsend heavy album. More focused, as far as like shorter songs and just I don't want to say mainstream because nothing he does is mainstream, but more focused songs, not like all over the place, prog epic type stuff, but there's little touches of that here and there, as there should be because it's Devin. So yeah, that first song it's just balls to the walls right from the start. The second song, Falling Apart, kind of starts the same way, and then there's a cool little drop in the middle of that one that's I thought was pretty cool. And it's got this little, like I said, the little drop breakdown thing that man, and then this comes right back into this huge chorus. I don't know how else to explain that one. This music is like really tough to explain, so why I'm doing a review on it, I guess, is kind of pointless. But just know that if you've heard Devin before, you kind of know what I'm talking about, I hope. Then the next track on here has got kind of a weird 80s, I don't want to say 80s feel to it, just kind of some sounds he throws in that gives that 80s feel to it, and got a cool little riff in it that kind of reminds me of that 80s type stuff. Got a cool little groove though. All his music grooves. It always does groove. It's heavy stuff anyway. And that continues on with Gratitude. It's got some cool spacey type sounding stuff in there. I actually made some notes on this one, so I'm kind of reading them because I tend to forget when it comes to like certain stuff like this what exactly it was I just listened to. It's not like your typical metal album. He's like definitely throws in his Devinisms, which is a very cool thing. He's got his just unique sound and does it with this one. Got a cool little spacey keyboard thing going on it. Same with the Dreams of Light. It's very atmospheric sounding. Everything's got a groove. I like the way everything grooves on here. I don't want to say it sounds like U2, but it's got a U2 type feel to the beginning of it, and then of course kicks in heavy, like really heavy after that. And I don't know. Then like one of I think the heaviest riffs for me was on Jainism. I think there's a CD or a single out for this one. I have not watched any of I didn't watch any of the videos or listen to any singles, so this is all kind of new. But man, the groove in this one, I mean, it starts out really metal and then kind of has this pace that kind of speeds up and kind of slows down. I don't know how to explain that one. Super huge reverb going on in the vocals of this one, and then of course there's this gentle little styly breakdown in the middle. And the cool thing is he's got acoustic guitars going in the background with that too, and somehow it all works. So that's what I mean by Devinisms. He just tends to take things you wouldn't think would normally go together and makes it work. Younger Lover has a sort of what I call a power ballad for him, but I don't know if it really qualifies as that, but it's very catchy. This has it just reaches out and grabs it. It's got a cool, catchy chorus to it. It's heavy, but he has this way of making it melt really together with a softer side, if that makes any sense at all. But then we're back into heavy again after that with Glacier. super reverb guitars on this one. Some cool synth stuff going on. And then, you know, the chugging guitars in the background, giving it kind of a proggy feel. But man, he is belting his brains out in the course of this one. So, I mean, if you're a fan of that style of his singing, there's a lot of that on here too, but he really does it on this one. And then Goodbye's got that weird 80s sounding open to it again, like almost like a Steve Vai type sounding thing going on, which kind of makes sense. I mean, that's kind of how I first discovered him, was when he was singing on Steve Vai's, one of his albums there. And I remember hearing him for the first time, wondering what the heck I was listening to as far as vocals. I'd never heard anybody sing like that before. But so it kind of like, you know, ends with that weird ambient thing. Just kind of, it seems like it goes on a lot longer than it needs to. It's the only complaint I have about this song. It's kind of went on a little bit longer than I thought it had to. And then it ends with this weird song called Ruby Quaker, which is just kind of a weird, it's really out of place on the album, and he's singing about how he loves his coffee and almost a honky-tonk feel to it. And weird way to end the album, but it made me laugh, so I guess it's there. But so it's like the first 10 songs really cohesive, and then it ends with this really weird, quirky thing at the end. So that's Devin for you. You never know what you're gonna get, but you always know what you're gonna get. So that's my quick little take on it. You know, I'm sure there's a lot more I could have said, as always, but I kind of leave that for you guys to add in your little feelings on it, what you think of Devin. If you heard this, what your take on it was. As always, I try to leave it as open as I possibly can for people to leave their own comments. And I always ask, like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because I'm sure he's got tons more in him. He's like one of the most prolific guys ever. I love it when he releases stuff, because even if it's something maybe not be your favorite, you know he's gonna have something coming out really quick. Although most of the stuff he's come out with I really like. So anyway, that's enough about that one. Until next time, we'll see you.